Hey, hey, what's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? Let's see, am I broadcasting? Yes, it says I am. Let's go to the Facebook and redo this thing. Don't see anybody. Somebody give me a shout so I know I'm going. Let's see. I can see my screen. Alright, cool. Anybody? Hey, there you go, Video Nomad. What's up? Okay, cool. Alright, so I'm going now. Hello in Spain. Alright. I'm gonna have a sip of water. Let's kick this thing off. Attempt not to spill it. So I am still on this trap jaw hustle, and as you can see, I have reworked the pose a little bit. What's up in Ecuador? Wow, man, global, y'all. All right, so I'm gonna hide this and just show you a little something. So I was struggling with this pose. Actually, let me show you the pose I think I left off with. You know what? Forget all that. We got a lot to do today. Let's just skip that. So I did this, right? Did a little quick turntable. Planted his feet, kind of put a base in here. I want to add his arm today and fix a lot of the areas that kind of got a little wobbly in the pose, right? Muscles kind of got messed up in some areas, and also there's just anatomy issues that need to be addressed. So that's what I'm going to do today. Let me get this out of here, right? But I got something that I think is a little more dynamic, a little. Let's raise this up high. Bogota, dag, yo, Nigeria. Man, what is up? This is the international podcast. Streamcast. Live and direct, straight out of Maryland. All right, so what I did since then, right? So I got my pose figured out. This is kind of what I'm going for, right? If I turn on dynamic, it looks a little more, obviously looks a little more dynamic. And so since I've gotten that, I went into Photoshop, and I started making notes, right? So let's get into this. Let's move things around. So I'm going to move this over here. I'm going to move this down and out of the way for now. Okay. Blands, what's up? Dark Waiter, what's up? Vietnamese, hey man. India, wow, that's crazy. Whole lot of Miss Missouri, oh my gosh. Okay, now I know I've blown up St. Louis, y'all. California. All right, so what I have here is my guy. Let me move this over here. I'm gonna be doing a lot of shuffling around. Okay, the Gruber, what's up? All right, so now it's that time where I finally need to address the arm, right? So I started doing some sketching. What's up, Enigma? And I still don't have Facebook on here. Man, this is killing me. I don't know why. Connecting. Yeah, it's not good. All right, for some reason, the Facebook chat does not connect. I see I have people in Facebook. There's Ken. What's up? Dimitri. I have him in here saying what's going on. But for whatever reason, for whatever reason, I can't get it in my stream. So again, I'm going to be doing this kind of a thing. And Facebook, if I take a while to get back to you, I apologize. It's just that you're way over here on this screen. Okay, over on that side. So let's shrink this down a little bit. Actually, make it a little larger. Okay, and I can move this over. So this is kind of what I want to do with his arm. I don't know if you checked it out last time, but I used my War Machine and kind of figured out what the pose is going to be. So this arm, imagine he's got it up and he's going to like really bring it down. Can you draw or just sculpt? I actually am a 2D artist before 3D artist. I've been drawing and painting all of my life, and I actually am a professional illustrator. So sculpting is like my passion, but drawing that's what pays the bills. All right, Shane, what's up, dude? Click the gear and hit reconnect. All right, let me try that. Gear. Reconnect. All right, let's see. Oh my God, Shane for the win! You're the man. What's up, Ken? All right, thank you, Shane. Well, I've learned a lot from this man, and this is probably at the moment, like the most impressive thing. He like comes in and in 2 seconds figures it out. All right, so I got my War Machine, which is like the illest little toy guy that I have in my collection, best sculpt ever, and this is kind of informing my pose. So today, what are we doing? We're fixing a whole lot of problems, right? I have a whole lot of reference. That's some old school muscle and fitness, right? Best book in my library. If you guys don't have this book, pick it up. It's by Frederick DeLavier, right? Friedrich. It's on Amazon. Amazing book, right? It's got all the posing and the anatomical structure in the poses, which is amazing, because I also have this guy, right? But he's in a static pose, so you don't get to see how the muscles contract and expand and all that good stuff. So let's see, I'm missing a lot of stuff here. Hey, what is up, Sandro? I have Anthony saying hello. What's up, Alias? Evan, hey Mike T, I was wondering how long does it usually take to do a sculpt of a character? Is any sort of industry standard? Okay, so because I do it for fun and for myself, it takes me forever, and that's because, not necessarily because it just takes a long time, but because I obsess, right? I got like a OCD kind of a ADD thing going on, and I can't put it down. I'm constantly like fiddling with it. So if I did that with my illustration, I would not be able to make money. So I'll put it to you that way. All right, so let's go back into it. I love that Shane came in here and just like in 2 seconds fixed the problem I've been dealing with for the past 5 streams. But so I made some notes, right? I'm thinking of this kind of an arm, the hook arm. I always thought was dope, and maybe I'll swipe it out a little later for a fly swatter on the end. That's like a deep Masters of the Universe cut. Anybody's a fan of Trap Jaw, you know he has like a million things he puts on here. And the fly swatter is probably the most useful tool in Eternia. But I have notes here. All right, so I just did a kind of a whiteboard over top of this and started drawing in things that I want to do. And these are them. This is usually the way it goes. I save this stage for after I do the pose, because some of this stuff is going to be deformed, and also, you know, I just do, right? So I know I want to add some kind of those spiky things on his belt. I have to redo the belt today, give him an arm bracer, kind of detail the weight belt thing that he's got going on, and add straps to make it so that these things on his legs make sense, they don't fall off, and you know, just little various other things. I was thinking of putting one of these neck guard things on. I don't know if you guys have seen some, you know, some of these like the armor type stuff in these older movies, but they sometimes have this neck guard so that if, you know, He-Man is taking a swipe at him, it's gonna hit that and not chop his head off. Got that. I want to beef up these pistons that are kind of connected to his clavicle, or like the mechanism embedded in his clavicle to hold his jaw, right? And and get into this arm too, right? And you can kind of see the pose that I want for the arm. Let's see, what have I missed? Let's see. Hey, what's up, Almido? Sandro, Shane, sorry, Mike, if you ever have any other questions. Of course, man, you know I'll be hitting you up. Pro, do big muscles, you rely more on anatomical, anatomical? Hey, I can't say that word. Anatomical knowledge or form. It's a process, right? Because I'm one of those guys who grew up drawing superheroes. Like, that's what got me into illustration in the first place. And, you know, even when I'm doing stuff that isn't superhero related, I usually try to make it dynamic, and that's all kind of based off of comic book stuff. So muscles have always been there, and I'm, you know, I used to think, oh, well, I know what it looks like, so I don't, you know, I'll just draw them. And they're insertion points, even up to like today. Like, there's parts on this that are just wrong that I need to readdress. The pecs are usually way too short. For some reason, I always give the people like short pecs. I got to stretch that out. I got to fix the, you know, the where the rib cage is, and then kind of address his abs and things like that. Even things like, you know, inserting the bicep underneath of the pectoral muscle. That's one of those things that I usually have to visit it a few times to get it right. So, but form is definitely, I'm looking at this thing as a silhouette. And one thing that I've done in the past is, you know, not one thing, I do it a lot actually, is I'll notice that I like something from, say, this angle, but then when I rotate it around, it looks kind of whack at a different angle. I'm old, so whack means bad. So, you know, I'm beginning to kind of get into making sure that whatever angle you're looking at it from, it's an interesting, you know, an interesting silhouette. So, hence the turntable, that helps with that. Okay, so I'm gonna close this. Mad Max vibe. Oh yeah, yeah, thanks, man. Digging the pose. Thank you, Osario. Young and whack means bad. You know, my son is in high school now, and I was talking to my wife, and I used a word the other day. I don't want to date myself too much, but whatever it was, he looked at me and he was like, "Did you just say, you know, whatever it was?" I was like, "Yeah." He goes, "What are you doing saying that word?" I was like, "Boy, when I was your age, we made up that word." So he didn't believe me. Anyway, okay, so let's get into this, right? So I also went in and I started looking at some of the things I told you guys I didn't like as far as anatomy goes, right? And I noticed immediately that, say in this area, like these pecs need to be kind of dropped down and reshaped. Somehow when I did the pose, I got like a really hard fold that doesn't make any sense. And also, you know, like I said, I want to, you know, go in and fix all this. So I just drew over it. I also went in and kind of sketched in where I want to have some of his leg muscles. His hand needs to be kind of fixed today because it got all kinds of wobbly. And then I want to go in and detail, you know, the armor and the pads on his legs and things like that. So this is what I do, you know what I mean? Like I'll get a basic kind of rough out of the figure and then go in and sketch over top of it. And now I'll use this and fix it in ZBrush. So let's just save this off as a JPEG, and then I'll open it in my ref, my pure ref. Let's see, save as. You good, boss? Let's see, let's save this. Desktop, okay, so notes, and I'll save it as JPEG. Alright, so if I come back over to my pure ref, I've been super busy collecting reference also, right? So if I was to zoom out of this, I've got mad reference, right? Last night and this morning, I was just going in and finding, now that I know what the pose is, I kind of know where I have to have you know, the muscles being stretched and compressed. So I got a lot of stuff here. Curious what lies in your Dave Raposa. Oh, wow, you saw that. Okay. Note to self, hide any things I don't want the world to see on here. Dave Raposa, I'm a big fan of his, and obviously his, you know, his Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and all that stuff is kind of, you know, he's really good at taking something that's a, you know, a cartoon and making it look super realistic, which is kind of what I like doing too. What's up, Craig? Sorry to pry. No worries. Give me a heads up if you see anything that my wife would probably get upset that I have on the desktop. Let's see. Hello from Italy. The name of that Ecrochet sculpt. This is an Andrew Carr's sculpt. Andrew Carwse, I think. Right? The best. This guy's the best. And you can take off some of the parts and look at it. It comes in, they have like a gray version, they have a painted version. I love this because it even has like, it sits on a Lazy Susan here, right, which you can rotate around, which is ill. Little turntable. So I use this a lot. This was the best 350 that I think I've ever spent. My wife hated the fact that it's so huge, but it's work stuff, so what are you gonna do? Canary Islands, oh my gosh, hey, what's going on? Do you routinely study? I have, mustache, I totally have been studying a lot more. And you, even if you look at my stuff from like 3-4 years ago, you can tell that I'm better than I was, like a lot better. Because I used to just make really simple mistakes. Kind of knowing, name dropper guy. Kind of knowing Ryan Kingsland helps too, because I bounced stuff off of him and he's got, you know, just jotted down some stuff and sent it back, and I was like, oh man, I didn't even see that. So, all right. Shane, okay man, thanks for stopping in, brother. I'll check you later, man. You gonna do bright colors or more? Maybe both, I think. Yep. So, okay. Got one too, my wife hates it. All right, so let's get into this, right? So there is, I have other sculptors work on here. There's some just really nice stuff. So in addition to photos, and I got to fix his neck. That's another big thing. I think I just did a deal where I put in a lot of extraneous details that don't belong on the neck, that once I posed it just kind of stretched into a big mess. Right? So that's one of the things. I got to simplify that, put the correct you know, anatomy there, and then work into like the actual wrinkles that you'd get from turning your head in that way. I also have some 3D scans on here. A lot of stuff, right? A lot of stuff. So let's get into it. Let's get back to my thing here. Now I got to move stuff around again. Let's see. Let's move this over here. Odell, what's up? Odell is a friend of mine, really talented dude who's worked on a lot of TV shows. I know big people. He did tell me one day I would make it. Let's see. Why can't I scroll down? Okay, cool. All right, so that's that. Let's move this over here. And can you guys hear the music? Because I have it in my headphones, but I don't want it to be too loud. Should be coming through okay for you guys. Craig, just go on to, where did I get mine? I think if you just go to anatomytools.com. Oh, cool, pro. Okay. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Yeah, go to anatomytools.com. Type that in the chat. And there's a lot more there. Anatomytools.com. That's not spelled right. However you spell it. N-A-T-O-M-Y. Tools. Spell it right. Okay, cool. All right, so let's get into fixing this thing. Thanks, Odell. All right, and I'm going to start off just by kind of isolating. I'll turn off dynamic. I'm going to isolate the just the the body, and then go in and let's start fixing things. Really drop down a subdivision level, and you can see when I did the pose, there's just areas that start to really kind of get distorted. Luckily, I have a really low-res version of this, right? So that I can just go in and really fix the areas that got completely messed up. All right, I can see right now that his pec kind of got pulled out of position. So let's start fixing these things. Start fixing these things here. Look just as organized. Thanks, Christian. Hannibal, what's up, man? Alright, let's start with the move tool and just start kind of getting stuff figured out. I had to do this with my Hulk. He got really distorted when I did this pose. Actually, I'm lying. My friend Brad figured out this pose for me, and he did it in Maya and gave it back. But when he did, we started from a T-pose guy. When he did, it got really kind of messed up. So I had to go in and fix things, and that's what's going to happen today. How you been, Odell? Streamer running in the back. No, I have music playing in the background. That's kind of what you're hearing. I put a playlist together. Preferred method for making armor or assault panzer. It's a little bit of all that. Normally it's just a normally I just Z model stuff. Just start with a cube, or I will grab, I'll grab a piece of his, anatomy here, and then duplicate, and that way I know it's going to fit on him really well when I give it thickness. You're always working a lot, dude. Anything you can talk about or not really? Okay. Well, holler at me after the stream. Oh, you know what would help is getting my sketch. Let's get that on here too. Let's highlight that. Let's highlight that. Sketch. That's not it. Notes, that's all. Copy. Paste. right. Marble stuff, gotcha. That's cool, man. Yeah, you can see this neck got really kind of distorted. I'm just gonna smooth this out and kind of start over from scratch because it's a mess. Now the only thing about it is as I jump up in the subdivision levels, I think his neck is long too, it's too long. I'm gonna shrink it down. When I jump up in these sub-D levels, it's gonna still have the higher details, so it's gonna look weird. So I'm gonna have to smooth these as I go. Arm reference, 3DSK. Yeah, I got it from 3DSK. Yep. Yes, sir. I didn't realize I had a subscription with the 3DSK photo references. I think they had a deal going on around this time last year, Christmas last year, and I bought it and then forgot I had it, but I've been paying like 20-something pounds a month for the past 2 years, and I was like, oh my god. So I go and look and I have like all these credits. So it takes a long time to go through all the pictures and pick out what you want, but totally worth it. Totally. Yeah, I should, Enigma, definitely. You know what? I have this illustration by way of sculpture tag on here. I should probably paint this guy. Definitely paint this guy when I'm done. Maybe what I'll do is kind of do it like I did the painter box. Maybe do a mashup so it looks like the old Masters of the Universe box art. That'd be pretty cool. That's pretty much what I do for Hasbro and Mattel when I'm doing their box art, is make their toys look like. I think the last art direction I got from them was make the toys look like something you would see in the movie. You see, as I go up, those details that really mean nothing now are still there, so I gotta erase them as I go, and I'll just resculpt and fix these areas. I had a really good neck, I think, on an old guy. This is good because it shows the divot. I think this should be pushed down more. Yeah, Odell's a beast when it comes to anatomy. He like knocks stuff out so fast. What do you recommend for beginners wishing to enter the 3D world? There's a lot of really good tutorials, like free stuff, on the Pixo site if you're using ZBrush, and also on YouTube. Like, that's how I learned. I got some books. And I watched a lot of videos, like free videos. I don't have any formal training. I used to like to sculpt stuff with Sculpey, you know, years ago, so I've always had a passion for it. In fact, I'm working on on a new sculpture. I just finished the Spider-Man game, or I'm almost done, so no spoilers. But I just started a Spider-Man Miles Morales monster clay sculpt. It's gonna be like quarter scale. Game was so good, man. Well, easy to learn is relative, but if you are patient and, you know, kind of watch the stuff on the ZBrush classrooms page, Joe and Paul have a lot of really helpful stuff that'll get you up and running quickly. Torso sick, thanks, man. Book Anatomy for 3D Artist. Yes. Well, the one I have is Strength Training Anatomy, but the book Anatomy for 3D Artist is really good too. I have a PDF version of that, or like a digital version. I need to pick up, there's a, it's not cheap, but there is a book that has it's like expression for 3D artists, and it's really awesome. They have all of the muscles, they're all done in, you know, somebody sculpted them. But why is that not doing? Uh-oh, what is happening here? Oh, it's buried under this. All right, I'm going to move this. Let's get this thing shrinking out of the way. Juggling screens. If you haven't already, please give me a follow on Twitch. I'm starting to do more streams on there when I'm not in here, and also in applications that I don't really use in here, like Substance, things like that. All right, Substance Painter. Skip this. Yes. Should do a torso class. Nice, thank you. Alright, so I can go in and revisit a lot of these things that I knew weren't quite right in the first place, but I was just holding off on it because I knew that I needed to sculpt. Or not sculpt, but pose, rather. Alright, look at all this pinching. Smooth out this pinching. Actually, if I step down and smooth, it'll be easier. What am I on? Oh, not move. I want clay spin. What's the name of the book? Oh, the one that with the expression? There's a few. Which one are you talking about? You know, it's funny, one of the issues that I'm running into with sculpting, like in monster clay, is the same thing that I had when I first started using ZBrush, which is just getting over the fact that it just looks ugly at first. So I know the first few times that I messed around with doing anything, I would block in something and then quickly go in and start polishing it up and cleaning up all this stuff, and then I would look at it and the form was bad. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't really nail the silhouette before I did any of that. So I say that for people who are new to ZBrush, who are worried about the fact that they're you know, it's what Ryan calls the valley of the suck. you know, you gotta just push your way through that early kind of a garbage phase and just keep polishing it. Don't be afraid to spend time on a piece either. That's another thing. I've noticed there are a lot of people who are into speed sculpts, which is good practice, but you know, don't be afraid to either go back and revisit one of those later on and work on it, or just give yourself time to enjoy the piece, you know. The insertion on this peck is wrong too. I'm going to fix that. Let's see. Scott Eaton face portrait. Is that the one I'm thinking about, Hannibal? Let's see. Do a quick search. I think it's, let's see, facial anatomy for 3D artists or sculptors. You know what? I will look for it. It's in color, but I'll look for it, and maybe next time I'll hit you up, let you know, because it's really good, but it's expensive. So, all right, D. All right, I want to finish smoothing out this neck, and then take the damn standard and get these forms in here right, because right now it's a mess. See some necks. I thought I had one that was an older guy. Yeah, this guy. Yeah, that's pretty sweet right there. What's up, Velis Milk? And I'm just switching back and forth between the clay spin, dam standard, and if I want to look for some of these plane changes, I use the H polish. Alright, so this is going to quiet here. Sometimes I gotta concentrate. This is like, this part is like schoolwork. Can't mess it up. Actually, this is the fun part for me, going in and just kind of noodling away, fixing the anatomy. I had a ball doing the carnage that I worked on. That was a workshop in itself, learning how to get that together. I leaned on this Andrew Carr statue a lot for that one. Oh, don't do that. Where'd you find all those neck references? This is what I did last night. I just went on Google, and between Google, Pinterest, and the massive photo library that I've saved over the years, that's kind of where I got everything. So even though this is a younger guy and he has like a pretty high, body fat and muscle kind of ratio, I like looking at, I intentionally went and found a lot of pictures of older men, because they have the thinner skin. They have some nice wrinkles. I want to get distortion on him in areas just to make him look like he's weathered, and I like the idea of being able to see, wrinkles and stuff like that on him. I mean, I have no idea how old Trapjaw is, but the bad guys usually look more kind of intimidating if they don't have really nice baby smooth skin. I found an awesome picture of Arnold Schwarzenegger now, who, man oh man, he's still muscular, but you can tell he's no spring chicken. Let's see, where is it? Oh, this is him right here. Check this out. It's crazy, right? That's the Terminator. This guy's got those kind of deep divots here. How long do you take to do the average sculpt? It varies. It varies. I mean, if it's something that I'm trying to push through, I can probably get through it in in a couple weeks, maybe a week. Perfect example of, doing something for myself or doing something where I actually have a deadline is I just gave the Formlab guys my bishop. I think I finished that. Let's see. Tool. Yeah, so I finished the bishop, but only because I had to. So I went in and I blazed through the boots and everything. And I say I'm done, but they're only printing it maybe like 6-7 inches tall. So there's a lot of stuff I'm going to go in and get to look better when I do a 1/6 scale. But turn on solo. Now I kind of figured out some boots and, you know, the laces and stuff like that. But I ran through that at the 11th hour because I had to. Arnold still ripped? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Skip it. Alright. Oh, I'm on the neck. Yeah, I'm gonna have to figure out these pistons because they're in the way here. If I'm even gonna keep them, I'm not even sure yet. Let's see what it looks like without them, because right now they're just kind of in the way. Do something with his neck, but maybe the pistons aren't the way to go. Something, because I want that, you know, his trap jaw, right? So I want it to feel almost like it's got something in there that's a spring-loaded mechanism that's going to make it clamp down and really just tear up whoever he's messing with. Yeah, that's just grabbing a lot of miscellaneous pictures and throwing it in. But thanks, Nick. And you can see when I posed it, there's areas that got pushed through the rest of the geo, like, that I don't want. I'm not going to sweat these straps until I figure out you know, the exact anatomy on his body, and then at that point I'll just make some more. Those aren't hard. And you can see right now it's kind of pulled through here. Oops, grab the strap. There it is. Just so it doesn't look too crazy for now. And they got these, I'm surprised these got, you know, these look as good as they do, because usually when I pose, they get really messed up. Like, stuff just gets really distorted. Bracknell TV, thanks, man. How do you get that screen with the reference on? Yeah, that is not a ZBrush thing. It's an application called PureRef. PureRef. You can pick that up. It's free. It's on Mac and Windows. So turn this to PureRef. Yeah, no, it's great. Let's get back on his neck. Solo this out. It's okay if I push it in too far, because I can always just go in and build it up. But now I can go and address just the contouring that's wrong now. Just sketch it. I think part of the reason that I really was attracted to ZBrush, I've always liked sculpting, but I just never got into 3D work because I don't really like traditional applications. I think as an illustrator, so it's more that Z plane threw me off every time. You know, I'm used to the X and the Y. But when ZBrush, when I found out about that, it really, sculpting feels like you're drawing, you know, you're just pretty much just, especially if you have a Cintiq, you know, like I'm sketching on the screen here. So it's, for me, it's a perfect match. And if you guys want to see any of my 2D work, you can check it on my website. Or do me a favor and give me a subscribe or a follow on Twitch, and I have links to all of my social media on there. Would be awesome. I'd appreciate it. I was hoping Strauss would come in today. I was checking out his streams, and man, that guy's a beast. Really, really good. Yeah, exactly. Just carving it in. It's really funny how I go back and forth with the principles between traditional and 3D, because I was using you know, I was sculpting that Spider-Man, and I was trying to, like, man, I need a damn standard to cut in these muscles, and you know, eventually I just took a, you know, straight edge stainless steel thing that I have and just carved in. I'm like, oh, okay. You mean this thing that you can just use to draw lines into the clay? Yeah. Alright, now this Adam's apple got all twisted up, so let's figure this out. Turn down my intensity on my smooth brush, because it doesn't really make sense to go back and forth if you're going to smooth out all your details. I should have done a screen grab beforehand. Now, you know what I don't have? Let's see. Pretty sure that this would cut over higher than I had it. Let's see this dude. So I gotta be careful too, because I don't want to lose track of his spine. He's got a twist going on to his body, and it gets a little confusing. I don't think it's right. Like in the front it works. But you can see, like, the center of his skull is off. And even though that's covered with a helmet, those are things that when you look at the finished sculpt, you'd be like, something not quite right about that. Also, I like to obsess over things. It does make a difference though, because I have done pieces where I swore I was good, and then looking back at them, you know, years after the fact, I was just like, golly, man. My eye immediately zooms in on the problem areas. Yeah, Strauss is dope. I just started, you know, watching his streams. I don't know how he does it. Like, he streams twice a day, I think, and one is, you know, in the middle of the day, and then one is super late at night. So for me anyway, I'm on the East Coast, but that's dedication, man. And he's doing Marvel stuff too, so. Now that you mentioned a quick 3D ref in ZBrush, creativity works. Yeah, that's I mean, I got into ZBrush out of necessity because I needed something to help me with my illustration. There's a lot of things that I had to work on that I just didn't have time to, you know. You know what it was? I'll tell you exactly what it was. It was, I was working on the G.I. Joe guys for Hasbro when the Rise of Cobra movie came out, and I needed really realistic lighting, and so trying to figure that out with guys that have on all this tactical gear was just super hard, you know what I mean? Just how the light wraps around all that, especially when you have backlighting and rim lighting, and in addition to plasma, you know, glows and all this stuff. It was really difficult. So I ended up turning to Poser at the time and Daz Studio, right? Because those two things were, well, Poser wasn't free. Daz I got on because my Poser was old, but you know, having those to take basically just a stock base mesh guy, and then you could even buy gear. When I was doing all of my I'll show you. Oops. All the guys for the DC Infinite, what is it? Infinite Earths toys. I had to make all these guys, and it was just really convenient to take, you know, take a Daz guy and pose it, and then just do a proxy of the uniform. I did this whole line. It's like 25 guys. And I needed something to help me with my workflow, and so that's why 3D became, it went from just being something that, oh, I want to learn that one day, to I need to get this incorporated into my workflow right now. And I did. Okay. So if you are someone who started out as a 2D artist, you know, maybe you want to give it a shot. The other thing that I constantly realize is that being better at one helps me up my game in the other. So knowing fundamentals of 3D sculpting makes my paintings, even when I'm not using reference, makes my paintings so much better. And vice versa too, you know, being able to draw and paint helps my sculpture. Which is, I think, the main reason why most of the old masters used to do both. Hey, what's up, Attentive Slug? I'd like to ask the same. What did I miss? Okay. I have a Wacom tablet. Is it worth upgrading to a Cintiq? I can't go back to a regular Intuos now that I have one, but I have to tell you, when I first bought my first Cintiq, I had there was a just period where I had to get used to it, and I was nervous that I made a giant purchase and wouldn't like it. You know, it takes getting used to having your arm on an angle. You can get arms for the Cintiq to adjust it that definitely help, but at first I didn't have that, and I was just like, oh my god, did I just make a, you know, a $2,500 mistake? But I didn't. You know, I got used to it, and now I can't really work without being able to have, you know, direct input onto the screen. It's just like drawing or painting on a tablet, you know, like a real sketchpad. So let's add, it happened with projects after a couple of days. What did Twister? I'm backed up here, let's see. Stream seems to stutter a bit. Tony Gore, what's up, man? Anybody else having a problem with the stream being slow? Oh, Nick, yeah, definitely. I mean, if you're thinking about it, definitely, you might want to look at maybe getting a, you know, getting one off of eBay or something if you want to just kind of dip your feet in the pool, or get a smaller one like the Pro tablets, which are, I think there's a 16 and a 14 or something like that, just to get used to it. But I had my first purchase was a 21. I also am a, you know, full disclosure, I promote for Wacom as well. So then they sent me a 27, and now I'm using the 35. I got my 27 on the floor behind me, actually. But I'm a big fan. Stream is fine, cool. It's all you, Pro. Stream is fine on YouTube. Thanks, Frank. All right. Now, somehow the pecs got pinched. They look real weird. I was on his back. I didn't put a massive amount of thought into his back when I was initially kind of dropping in these muscles either, because I knew that depending upon the way his arms were, it would change. So I gotta fix that now. Just go in with the damn standard and draw it properly. Hey, side effects. 35, yeah, man. I don't know what's going on with that. They were supposed to be out now, but I don't think they're out yet. I've been on this for, I don't know, 3/4 of a year now. So the only thing about it is that there's no stand for it yet. So I had to get real kind of, you know, had to do like a ghetto stand by dropping it onto some old CD, you know, trays, the spindles. So I have it hiked up on some CD spindles and what else? And a couple of Stephen King books in the back there. Prefer working with different subdivision levels or Dynamesh? I'm not a real big Dynamesh guy, Carbon. I tend to work with subdivision levels because there's nothing better than being able to go in and really kind of nail down your forms in a low cage, and then start to jump up the subdivision levels just as you need them to detail. I don't know, I'd have to check this out, Robert. I don't know which books you're talking about. Hey, you guys on the stream. Facebook works slow for me. YouTube is smooth. I don't know. I'm just happy to be able to read all of my stuff in one area is awesome. I don't have to look over at the other screen at all. I usually have that second screen playing, you know, either Netflix or, you know, CNN or something. So it's not as much a reference screen as it is a don't go crazy because you're at home all day by yourself screen. All right, so down. Let's see. You showed one of the books earlier. I thought it was. Oh, this one, Strength Training Anatomy. This is by yeah, Delavier, Frederick Delavier. He has, you know, you can't go wrong with any of them. I think I have two. I have female Strength Training Anatomy and just the male, and they're both great, like really good. I think I just bought them both on Amazon the same day. All right. Turn this on. Oops, yeah, there. Okay, now this makes more sense, but you can see now I have to fix this area. I think that's just dynamic subdivision, which is nice because it doesn't get too distorted if I go in and fix it. I was about to do one of my normal numbers and just move on to something else today because I figured people are probably, you know, trap-jawed out, but also the pose, the original pose, was not doing it for me, but I kind of pushed through it and came up with a pose that I like, and I'm glad I did. I'm very good at putting down something and moving on if it either becomes, you know, either boring or not so much challenging, but if I just look at something too long, I get really tired of doing it. But, you know, unless it's a client piece, obviously, you know, and then I just get it done pretty quick. Pretty proud of myself. I just finished, I think I was talking about it last time, but I'm done with that big Nike project I was working on. It's a lot of illustrations in a very short amount of time. I think I had a month to do, what was it? I think 15, 14 illustrations. It was a lot of stuff. But it's one of those things where I really pushed myself to get it done fast, and the client was super happy. So now, you know, I expect to be getting some more Nike work, which is nice. Any good graphics have people have used displays? You talking about like alternatives to Wacom? What's the one everybody talks about all the time? You know who's really good? I'll get a name. One of the other painter masters is a what's his name? He does reviews, and he reviews graphics tablets. and you'd be surprised. There's some alternatives that are cheaper, but are pretty good. So, I mean, especially if you want to just try it out, see how you feel about it. Fix these guys here. Let's mask them. Not this one. Turn on transparency. What just happened? Q in bolts. That's what I want. W. There you go. Now I can pull it out here. Oh no, I don't want dynamic on for that. I want it on for this. This one. There you go. Okay. Burn hole with anatomy. I'll check that out. Base meshes in ZBrush. Yeah, everything's ZBrush. Everything is done in ZBrush. I use the Z modeler a lot. So I'll just take a primitive and go in and go to town. The helmet, jaw, all that stuff, everything is made in ZBrush. Yes, Bowman, did you create? Oh, that's already in the Huon. Yeah, I've heard that. Huon is good. Huon. All right, let's get this chest worked out. It's not right. Other thing that I constantly realize is being better at one helps me up my game in the other. 3D sculpting makes my games even when I'm not. Hey, what's up, Antenna Slug? Yeah, Odell and my friend Tony Gore turned me on to this clay spin, which is, you know, in addition to the damn standard, my favorite brush of all time. I love it. It gives a bit of a texture in addition to, you know, in addition to building up the form, which is nice. Joyce, how you doing? Do you work on one sculpt this time? No, I have I have so many sculpts that are like I don't know if you watch Christmas, you know, movies, the animation stuff, like the Rudolph thing, but there's that island of misfit toys, and that's kind of what my sculptures are like. I have just so many that are just sitting on an island waiting for me to come back to them. I'll get there one day. Hey, what's going on? I don't want to butcher your name. How are you? So I don't know what's going on. My wife says it's because we've been getting so much rain, but our house has just been taken over by ants. And I mean, like, not even just first floor type thing, but on my desk there's 1 million ants. 1 million ants. Rick and Morty deep cut. But they're just everywhere. So I can't even have my coffee up here anymore because they will literally be in the cup before I can drink it. Moving ZBrush out of necessity for lighting. Yeah, I also, you know, when I get a sculpt to look pretty much how I want, perfect example of the workflow is those Marvel cards I worked on. I'll do a keyshot render, and now even a get some good renders out of you know, this is out of Toolbag. Yeah, Marmoset. So I get like some realistic stuff. There's another one that Carnage. Like these are out of Substance Painter. And you can see like you get some really good renders. So now if I wanted to go in and paint this guy, I could totally just, you know, use it as reference or even do a paint over. Even for things like AO passes, you know, this with the depth of field, it almost feels like it's a photo of an actual 3D sculpt. So it's a lot of really good, in addition to keyshot, for me anyway. I know people mess with, there's one that I have a couple friends that just, that's all they use, but it's more hard surfacey. So, seriously, where is, there it is. Yeah. Did you ever start the Chun-Li in running gear version? Running gear version. What does that mean, Walter? Exclusive. Oh yeah, yeah. Is that what it is? Are you on the East Coast, Chunk? I have. Oh wow, I'm way behind. Let's see. Did you hear clay spin? Yeah, clay spin is dope. You can see that it gives you a texture as you sculpt, and depending upon, you know, how light you put it down, it's really nice because sometimes it's a really nice start to getting like skin textures, or even if you're working on leather or whatever. I use that a lot. A lot. Let's see. Did you read? Yeah, this had a pretty good base mesh when I started, and you know, I usually just retopo as needed, but I made sure that actually I kind of got rid of my my lower subdivision levels, so I had to retopologize this guy before I posed him because he was like super high. I just got one of these. Oh, jeez, shoot. Ah! That's not good. Let me try to get some of this ant poison out of my keyboard before. That's probably not very good. Crap. Why don't they tell you you can't pick up the ant poison? It says keep out of reach of children, so maybe that's what that means. All right, the light on my keyboard is still on, so I'm assuming it still works. And my desk is sticky now. But, sorry guys. That was not good. No, I didn't. Oh my God, did it close? Trying not to cuss right now. All right. Let's see, what did I miss? No, I didn't have ants in the keyboard, but now I have ant poison in my keyboard. And trying to get it out, I closed ZBrush. And it's not opening back up. Why is it not opening? Hold on 1 second, guys. ZBrush. That's not good. ZBrush is not opening now. I might have to restart. How much longer do I have? It's 2:23. Unless you want to just spend an hour and a half talking about something completely not related to ZBrush. Yeah, this sucks. I have to restart, you guys. I apologize. Task manager. Oh, okay. Yeah, let's check that out. God, my ZBrush is, my keyboard is sticky with poison now. ZBrush. Let's try services. Maybe it's stuck. Nope. Reboot, yeah. Thanks, Alex. All right, I have to reboot. I don't think anybody is, well, maybe. I think Joe Minna had to restart a stream once, but I'm going to, wait, it's further down. You see it? I don't see ZBrush. Oh, there it is. ZBrush. In task. All right, now let's try. There it is. All right, cool. Who told me it's further down? Thanks, Torch. All right. Thank you. Okay. I do need to get this sticky crap off my desk. I'm sure that I'm going to put it in my eye and mouth if I don't. So give me a second. I will be right back. I'll be right back. Hold on. think that's why they tell you to put these ant baits on the floor, not on your desk. And you know the real irony is that there are ants that are just kind of dancing around outside of the bait now, which is, they're just kind of mocking me at this point. All right. One more second, almost done. All right. Let's see if the keyboard still works. I have lights. Okay, let's see. Autosave, use a fan, nuclear spill for the ants. All right, close this. Why can't I close that? Seriously, dude? It's a comedy of errors today. Close, man. What the hell? ZBrush. Oh. Okay, that's why. Close that. And recovered tool. Is this the latest? Let's try this one. Give that a try. Desk is 85% less sticky. Probably a good 15–20% less toxic. My keyboard now has just a small amount of soap in it as opposed to chemicals that will probably kill me. All right, I don't think I lost too much. So pretty sure I'm good. All right, let's get this. Let's get this. See what I missed here. Crumble enough crumbs onto your keyboard. The protected layer gets a liquid. The crumbs are the reason I have ants in the first place, man. All right, don't eat on top of your keyboard. No, they're actually everywhere. Making you laugh. Well, I'm glad that you're getting pleasure out of this. Sinelder. Let's see, maybe it's a sign you need to do an Ant-Man sculpt. Computer's melting, doesn't just happen to me. All right, cool. Let's get back into this thing here. So if you're watching later on YouTube, just skip ahead to whatever number we're on now. Somebody just put it in the notes. And I'll look way cooler than people see me at this particular moment. You know what? The anteater thing. Why was that the first? That was the first thing I thought of. Like, man, you know what? If I had an anteater in here, as I kill ants, did they all just pour out of the trap? There's like 1,000 more ants on my desk now. I think I just freed all the ants. That was the first place my mind went in a really cartoonish way. Was I wonder how much I would have to spend for an anteater, or do they rent them? Because that would be a way to quickly dispatch of all these ants. That's the first thing I thought of. Like, hey, you know what? If I had an anteater in here, did they all just pour out of the? Michael Douglas. Like 1,000 more ants. Freedom. Exactly right. I think I just freed all the ants. That was the first place. It's like that Rick and Morty episode where Beth let out the little guys that were working inside of the machine. Just press that little button. You see that button on the side there? Just press that. Free. Because I can't wait for season 4, I went back and marathoned all the seasons of Rick and Morty again this weekend. I don't even want to tell you how many times I've seen that stuff. A lot. Is the music still playing? What is that? Oh my god. How long have you guys been listening to that? I have something. Oh, that's me. Okay. So, for the first hour and a half, you guys have been listening to me on the other thing. This is just a big... Today is a mess, you guys. Seriously. Sorry about that. Had I been wearing the headphones, I would have known that. Indie Respawn, what's up, dude? I want to do over. I think I might need to stream again before the month is over to just redeem myself, take a mulligan on this one. This is not good. a day. No. No, it's not. Damn ants. Everything bad that's happened to me today has been because of these ants. And you know, not for nothing, but I don't see a single ant inside of this damn trap either. Oh, damn standard. No, I don't want that one. Don't want the damn standard. Real life stream. This is the real story of when dudes spill ant bait all over their keyboard, demean themselves in front of all of the Pixelogic fans. 2018. You know, the only thing about PureRef is like there's so much, I have so much here that I can use that I, for somebody who, like I wasn't joking about ADD, like or ADHD rather, I can't focus. Like I'm using this picture, but I feel like there's a better picture. I think I have to look at all of them. You just keep bouncing around. The good thing about it is that with this app, I can do that. Usually when I'm painting illustrations, they, as opposed to, you know, carving illustrations, they, I would have a picture open in the window next to it. Now I can have, you know, 100 pictures open. Which is pretty groovy. Trojan horse. Yeah, right. Yeah, I don't even know where the nest is. Put some rice on your desk. Diatomaceous earth? I don't even know what that is. Always a better picture. Yeah, let's see. Open, what is Surge? Indie Respawn. Is that like a drink? Scrub down my desk, PureRef. Yeah. I get on my kids about, you know, like eating food upstairs or bringing drinks upstairs. Luckily, we don't really have sodas in here, but my wife immediately points out when I do the stuff that, you know, I just told the kids not to do. I'm like, I'm a grown-ass man. I can eat in my office without making a mess and having ants. Apparently, I cannot. But I can never tell her this. Spoiler alert, she knows. Twitch stream. Yours isn't live. The Mike T2K? Yeah, no, that's because I'm on the Pixelogic stream right now. The 2K is my personal one. Music stopped. Come on, dude. Play. Okay. Just look at this on here. His arm is back some. Pecs are one of those things that I always have to really kind of spend time on, because for me it's very easy to get the volumes wrong. So I know the first attempt that I had at that Hulk was, you know, his pecs were like flapjacks. They were like just way too small, and you know, if you make them too big, then they, you know, they look like breasts or something. So it's one of those deals where you got to really kind of look at it from different angles. But then there's guys who can just get it just like that, you know. So again, doesn't always come easy for all of us. In the clavicle a little bit. Hey Hannibal, it's a process, brother. Alright, oh, I know what it was. Okay, so I still feel like these pecs are too short. So let's stretch them out some. Or at least this one is. I think. Yeah, because my guy's kind of tall. I just feel like his pecs are short. This is good, ref. Somebody sculpt here. Should probably save. I haven't saved in a minute. How long have I been working with ZBrush? 5 years. 5 years. Yeah, Hannibal took Hannibal took my class. One of my students. Oh, come on, dude. Thanks, Dwayne. Thank you very much. Can't go with high density. How much RAM you got? What you working with over there? Sad face. I'm taking that is not a lot. Yeah, I did an online class for for Ryan Kingsland for the ZBrush workshops. I haven't done anything since then. I think what I'm going to start doing is figure out a way to do just kind of do it on my own. You know, kind of like a tutoring kind of deal. He's got his arm up, but not that guy. Let's see. That's a good one. Chad, this is called PureRef. P-U-R-R-E-F. It's a free application you can get. Definitely mediums. If you're not now, give me a follow on social media. Everything for me is Mike T Artworks. Let's see. That's Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, all that stuff. The only thing where it's different is my Twitch, which is right there. It's Mike T2K. But if you follow me on Twitch, I have links to everything. As far as social media, I have buttons for, it'll just link you to all my artwork, my client list, social media, everything. I spent the weekend kind of just getting that in order. All right. that arm is back. Let's get the get these pecs kind of a little better here. The other arm is up and back, right? So what was I thinking for that? Belts. There they are. Oh, wait a minute. Had the wrong tool. And it's okay that I'm getting rid of this texturing. I'm more concerned with getting the right silhouette, and then I can go back and address those things as needed. That was one of the things when I was learning ZBrush that was probably the most difficult for me, was just doing things in order, you know what I mean? And keeping a low resolution, not jumping up your resolution too fast was really the main thing. And then making sure, just like with 2D art, you know, making sure that your foundation is right before you detail. It's very easy, and I've done it in the past, to go in and really polish up something that's wrong. And that's just embarrassing, you know. You post that stuff up and feel really good about yourself, and that's when you notice that you just get all these anatomy Nazis who just come down on you for really garbage insertion points, and you know, the volume's just being really just bad. And it's really easy to kind of fall into a shame spiral and then not want to work, you know, when all you have to do is just kind of just be patient with it. Let's look at this arm. The arm is a mess. Hey, thanks, Memeskate. Who is the hunk? There's so many. What's he sculpting? This is Truckjaw from He-Man. This fella. This feller. Masters of the Universe. Really funny. When I was in college, I couldn't actually high school, right? First, second year of college, I could not draw or paint faces yet. Just couldn't do it, and so I hated doing it, and I didn't do it until I finally just kind of forced myself to only practice doing faces. And it was weird because it was one of those things where it kind of clicked one day, and it felt like, you know, felt like I've been doing them all my life. But the thing that's odd about that is I made a living kind of doing portraits and caricatures and, you know, faces after that. And the thing about anatomy is it's another one of those things where I thought that I was good when I was younger, and then I quickly realized that I had a lot of work to do and I wasn't anywhere near as good as I thought I was. So when I started using ZBrush, I just, you know, I started practicing a lot, and now I'm, you know, starting to get better. You know what I mean? It's one of those things where, as an artist, I don't think we're ever done learning, but it's not embarrassing to post, you know, things. Whereas before, I'm that guy I was talking about. You know, I would post something on 10,000 hours or, you know, one of those groups, and just know that I killed it, and you just get comments of all the things that you've done wrong, you know. And there's one or two ways you can take it. You know, you can either take offense to it, which, of course, that's where I was at first. Like, oh man, how are they going to tell me? And then I would look at other people's work, like Rossetti and, you know, other artists who were just sculpting, you know, the form, and really, really good at it. And I would look at my stuff and be like, okay, I see what they're talking about. So, and now it's one of those things where it's almost like cathartic, you know. It's, I can just sit down on the weekend, and there's some guys in here that I hang out with on in Google, and just sculpt. And man, oh man, like that's the move, you know. Like, it's really fun for me now. And I got a long way to go, you know what I mean? Like, there's, when I can do this stuff and get it right the first time and not have to keep revisiting it until the things are proper, then, you know, I'm good. But in the meantime, I'm actually enjoying just kind of learning, you know, as I go. Thing. Hands create perfect balance. Never. They're my arch nemesis, Alex. Thanks, angels. Yeah, there are anatomy Nazis out there. You know, it's really, it's fun to me now, because it's like, I just listen to them. But there was a point when there was a kid who I I had just finished up a big illustration job, and I think I was doing a webinar for like Corel or somebody, like Wacom or Corel or somebody, and I started, like, I did my sketch the night before, and then I painted in the webinar, which is only an hour long, right? So on YouTube, this kid hammered me, like killed me, like, I see your webinars and all you do is paint. Can you draw? Do you even know how to draw? Why are you, you have your sketches beforehand? And I'm like, dude, I've been drawing for 35 years at that point. And I was just like, you can watch me draw something, which to me is not very exciting, or I can paint it. You know what I mean? So I can't do both in a half an hour, or an hour rather. So, but I think I won the guy over with kindness because I explained it to him, and then he was like really cool about it. But man, that initial comment was a tough one, man. And I have friends now who just do amazing work and they just get killed on Facebook. I'm like, dude, what do you guys want, man? But it's whatever. There's more often than not, they're fresh out of college and are just feeling kind of good about themselves. So it's all right. Just if you ever find yourself under attack by an anatomy Nazi, just let them do their thing. Usually they'll burn out. Whatever you do, don't engage. TG, I'm looking at you. You know who you are. Video nomad. No. That's cool. What was the other thing somebody told me one time? They said something about, it was a guy, I mean, he spent a lot of time crafting this comment, but it was something along the lines of, my paintings don't have soul or something. And he goes, now mine, on the other hand, I'll give you an example of what a painting with soul looks like. And I was like, all right, I'll go check out his site. So I went and looked at his site. And I'm not even kidding, like, they were clearly illustrations that were photographs that had a filter run over them. Like, he didn't even make any bones about trying to hide it. And so that was one of those things where I just left it alone. I was like, okay, I'll work on getting some soul in my stuff. I thought that was funny though. Dante, I began kind of drawing when I was young. When I got good grades in school, my dad would bring me comic books, and so I would always practice drawing Spider-Man or Luke Cage or something like that. So I've been doing that for a long time. Professionally, I've been illustrating since on my own since 2003, and for various companies, I guess since '98, I think. So it's been a minute. Yeah, golden life advice. Now you young people, listen to me. Back in my day, we would draw 10,000 pieces of artwork a day. That's the only way you got good. Still on the fence as to whether I want this guy to have like big Popeye forearms. I'm not sure yet. But I might want to do that. Not sure yet. You can see where all of this, like these kind of guidelines that I had for the muscles back here got really kind of twisted up when I spun his arm in the pose. Oh, it's saving. What do you use to render your project after sculpting? I use either hold on a second. Look at that. They like it. Hey, Mikey. I think they like it. You all take those home to your, take that stuff home to your friends and family. I'm gonna get you guys. You're dead, ants. What was I talking about? Oh, Keyshot. I just started using Marmoset Tool Bag. And what's the other one? Substance Painter has, what is it, Iray? I've been using Iray a little bit. But I'm not a huge fan of Iray. Although it did do, I got a lot of stuff open. Iray did this Carnage. So, I mean, it's good. I like the other. I really like Toolbag, surprisingly, the renderer in that, and I've been a big Keyshot fan forever. Octane was the other one I was thinking about. Yeah, Tony Leonard and my friend Jerry are big Octane fans, but they do hard surface stuff. So I tried using a demo of it, and man, I'm not a nodes person. I don't like nodes, and I also am I don't have UVs for all my stuff, so you got to really plan out how you're going to do your sculptures, or have your your UVs and everything laid out if you're going to work in something like Substance Painter. But you can get some amazing stuff out of there, so I have to be patient. I got to be in the mood for it. Let's see. Specific anatomy reference or just internet? Yeah, a bit of both, Sean. It's internet searches and wow, man, this is crazy. Internet searches, books, and sites like what's it called? Hannibal, remind me, I can't remember what it's called. That the site where I get all these photo reference 3D something, 3D something. But yeah, all over the place. Marmoset Toolbag, I like it. I like it a lot. Yeah, Redshift, I don't think I'm there yet. Like, I got a friend who does production work and he swears by Redshift, but that's above my pay grade. I know it does amazing stuff, but that's like some industry standard type business. You got to realize what I'm using it for. I really am only looking for something that is going to be reference for painting, or something that I'm going to post on my ArtStation. So it doesn't have to be the top of the line. No, I have Life. I have the same card, NVIDIA 1080 Ti is the card that I have. Same. 3DSK, yes. Thanks, guys. That's it. Mihai, thanks, man. Mihai is a master at anatomy, too. That guy. Crazy with it. That's the other thing. Like, if you want to get better, seriously, this is like that old Rodney Dangerfield joke, but like, if you want to get better, hang out with really good people. I know so many people that are doing work for either video game companies or, movie studios, shows like, my friend Odell did work on The Flash and a whole bunch of like other TV shows and things. You hang out with those guys, man, and they'll let you know when your stuff needs to be, corrected, and they have tips for you. So I would suggest getting groups on Facebook if you're new to sculpting and want to get better. Also, don't be afraid to take criticism. That's the only way you're going to get better, is knowing that you can get better, right? It doesn't matter how long we do anything. I've been drawing and painting my entire life, and there's people who I look at who I'm like, oh man, I like what they're doing. I need to do some of that. And it's not taking their style, but it's just kind of looking at what they're doing and incorporating it into your own stuff. It's that whole Borg type of a mentality, And 9 times out of 10, you talk to anybody who's doing anything of any worth as an artist, and they'll be willing to talk to you. We're cool like that. I've only met a couple of people who are not that kind of a person, and 9 times out of 10, the best people are just ridiculously cool. So, what time is it? 3:15. All right, I got another 45 minutes. And more ants than I've ever seen in my life on my desk now. Like, where were these guys? It's crazy. Drink that scissor, y'all. Take it back to the nest. It's gonna be like PETA. People for the ethical treatment of ants will be like protesting Pixelogic. I watched the stream where that guy committed ant genocide. This. Now this part right back here is always like super tricky for me. This bundle of muscles right here. So having one of these sculptures and having, books that I can look at are fantastic. The thing about this car statue is that one of them has the underlying muscles, and the other one has the muscles that are on top of that. along with the, you know, the veins. So it's I mean, this thing has paid for itself so many times. And then that, in addition to, there's a dude on here I found that has some really good, like, he's very low body fat. And the forearm is one of those places that I'm sure I'll probably come back to a couple times until I get it right. There's just some stuff I don't get right on the first pass. Kill them before they lay eggs. You know, I just started, I think it's like I've fallen off the wagon, or I'm back on the wagon. What's the one where you go back to doing the thing that you're not supposed to do? But I've been playing video games my entire life, and I would buy all the games. I had them all, and when I started getting busy, I would play less and less, right? So there was a point where I would read reviews for stuff coming out, and I'd be like, oh man, this is the game everybody's gonna be talking about, I gotta get it. And it would just stay in the plastic, right? I didn't even play it. But I just fell off hard with Spider-Man, because this is the one I've been waiting for. You guys already know I'm a big superhero nut. And Activision too, I mean Insomniac, what? So I bought Spider-Man, you know, pre-ordered it day one, like everybody else. You know, the internet won't shut up about it, but it's just really good. So I've been playing it like crazy, and I think now I'm like that guy who goes back to the thing he's not supposed to do. Now I'm like, I need another fix. One game I bought that was on sale that I haven't even really got too deep into is God of War, so I think I need to finish that next. But yeah, the Spider-Man game is crazy. Love it. Which model is that on your desk? I've been looking to purchase one. That is the Andrew Carr's Anatomy Tools statue. Just go to anatomytools.com and you'll see it there. Spider-Man's still in plastic. Yeah, you know, you gotta take it out. like a big. So wait a minute. I always get this wrong. All right, I'm gonna do what I just did. It's like a bundle. Bundle. Comes. Let's look at some actual photo reference. That's the other thing too. When you start looking at the anatomy statue, it's you know, you got to be careful because there's no fat on it. So you can get it technically right, but you got to realize that this guy not only has muscles, but he has layers of fat on top. That's going to it's going to affect it. Yeah, the X-Men comic was, or cartoon was great. Recovering WoW addict. Yeah, you know what? I'm kind of proud of the fact that I finally have phased out of collecting comics. I still, don't get me wrong, I mean physical comics. I still have a Comixology account, and but I usually wait for the you know, the graphic novel to come out that I've been waiting, you know, that I wanted until it's on sale. So everything now is on the cheap. I got 2 kids that are going to be going to college soon, so I got to be real cool about my spending. So I might just be, you know, I remember I was all excited about the Spider-Verse, and everybody I knew had read it like a year before. But I got it cheap, yo! It was really good. Oh, I think, speaking of that, and the Spider-Man game, pretty sure my next Sideshow purchase is going to be the Hot Toys Spider-Punk. You know what? When you cut off the top of my hair, doesn't it look like I just have a huge, I'm like the leader. I got a huge, giant forehead. Yeah, that Spider-Punk is crazy. I'm gonna get that. Batman and Superman and the Disney Infinity. Nice. You gotta hit me on a DM. Let me see that. I was talking to Shane Olsen, man. I love the Disney Infinity stuff. So good. Yeah, if you haven't seen that, the Hot Toys figures that are inspired by the Insomniac game, you should check them out. They have the Advanced Suit and Spider-Punk, and they both look really good. I'm a big Hot Toys fan. I have like all the figures. Not all the figures, I got a lot of figures. Oh, I thought this old guy was cool. I'm gonna use, look at this for some of the, I like the way that, you know, some of these wrinkles kind of transition on this guy. I'm gonna jump the gun. I'll get back to that later, but I like this guy. Way too much sun. When I was younger, one of my best friends, his mom was like a sun worshiper, and just all summer, every day, just out in the sun. And this is back when, you know, people weren't using sunblock. They were actually using like suntan oil. And man, oh man, as she got older, it just, her skin just looked like leather. Like, you gotta be careful with that sun, man. I personally don't like the sun. I try to stay out of it as much as possible. So, you know, might be vitamin D deficient, but I don't have to worry about skin cancer. So it's a trade-off. My wife gets on me about not going outside. Go to my anybody who wants to like DM me or reach out on social media. I'm serious. Check out this Twitch TV/MikeT2K, and I have all of my social media there, and email and everything. Like, you can, it's all there. Oh, what? Hannibal, you got that XM Magneto? It's like one of my favorite statues of all time, man. It's a beautiful statue. Uh-oh, this is starting to lag. Don't quit. Let me save as. Mike Tools. Chapter. Oh man, everything has a box, it stays on top of everything else. Hey, thanks. I'm in. Modeler, yeah. You know what? That's one of those things that you'll just watch the Pixelogic videos. Like Paul and Joe have a really good way of breaking it down for you.